The spring break of 2025 was supposed to be a time of relaxation and fun for Sudiksha Konanki, a 19-year-old student at the University of Pittsburgh. The young woman of Indian descent traveled with friends to a tourist paradise, Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. No one could have predicted that this trip would turn into an international search operation that would attract the attention of global media and become one of the most mysterious disappearance cases of 2025. On March 13, 2025, Sudiksha Konanki suddenly disappeared on a beach in Punta Cana. Her mysterious disappearance quickly turned into a case that united the efforts of law enforcement agencies from two countries, attracted the attention of the international community, and gave rise to countless unanswered questions. Sudiksha Konanki was born into a family of Indian descent and grew up in Northern Virginia. Her parents emigrated to the United States from India in search of a better future for their family, bringing with them the rich cultural traditions and values of their homeland. They settled in the suburbs of Washington, where they raised their daughter in an atmosphere of respect for education and hard work. From early childhood, Sudiksha showed remarkable learning abilities. Teachers noted her inquisitive mind, diligence, and thirst for knowledge. In school, she not only demonstrated excellent academic results but also actively participated in various extracurricular activities. The girl was particularly fascinated by natural sciences, which later influenced her choice of future profession. The Konanki family maintained strong ties with the Indian community in Northern Virginia, and Sudiksha grew up with a deep understanding and respect for her cultural roots. She studied Hindi and participated in traditional cultural events and festivals. This biculturalism, American upbringing with Indian heritage, shaped her worldview and values, making her open to different perspectives and cultural traditions. Friends and acquaintances described Sudiksha as a vibrant personality with a warm smile and friendly character. She easily found common ground with people, was a reliable friend, and always ready to help. These qualities made her popular among peers and a favorite of teachers. After graduating from high school with honors, Sudiksha Konanki enrolled in the prestigious University of Pittsburgh, where she studied neuroscience and biology. Her choice was not random. The girl dreamed of becoming a doctor and helping people. At 19, she was already in her second year of university and demonstrating outstanding academic achievements, combining studies with scientific work in the university laboratory. At the university, Sudiksha quickly integrated into student life. She joined several student organizations, including the Indian Students Association and the Volunteer Club, where she regularly participated in charity events. In her spare time, she practiced yoga, enjoyed reading, and traveling. University friends remember her as a responsible, purposeful student with big plans for the future. Despite her busy study schedule, Sudiksha maintained close relationships with her family. She regularly called her parents, telling them about her successes and plans. According to her parents, in the months before her disappearance, she was full of enthusiasm about her research and was looking forward to a summer internship at a medical institution. The spring break of 2025 was meant to be a short break for Sudiksha before her final exams. She planned to spend this time with friends, relaxing on the beaches of Punta Cana. Nothing foretold trouble. The girl was in good spirits, full of plans and expectations for the future. She even scheduled several meetings for the period after returning from vacation, indicating that she had no intention of disappearing or not returning to her normal life. Spring break at American universities is a traditional time of rest for students, and Sudiksha Konanki with 5 friends decided to spend this period in Punta Cana, a popular tourist destination in the Dominican Republic. The girls booked rooms in advance at the Riu Bamboo Hotel in the Arena Gorda Resort area, known for its picturesque beaches and vibrant nightlife. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will bring you more videos featuring the most shocking true crime stories. Preparation for the trip was thorough. According to university friends, Sudiksha enthusiastically planned the vacation, compiling a list of activities and excursions. She informed her parents about the upcoming trip and promised to stay in regular contact. The Konanki family did not express concern about the trip. Sudiksha was a responsible girl, and the Dominican Republic was generally considered a safe destination for tourists. The group arrived in Punta Cana on March 10, 2025. The first days of vacation passed carefree. The girls relaxed on the beach, participated in water activities, and visited local attractions. In the photos that Sudiksha sent to her parents, she looked happy and relaxed. Nothing foreshadowed the approaching tragedy. Interestingly, during the vacation, Sudiksha met several other American tourists, including a group of young people from Iowa. These chance encounters would later become important elements in the investigation of her disappearance. Analyzing the last days before Sudiksha Konanki's disappearance, investigators compiled a detailed chronology of events that helps understand the circumstances of the case. Here's how events unfolded on the eve of the fateful March 13. On March 11, 2025, Sudiksha and her friends spent the day at the Riu Bamboo Hotel beach. In the evening, they visited one of Punta Cana's popular nightclubs, Coco Bongo, where they met a group of American tourists from Iowa, including 25-year-old Joshua Riibe. According to friends, Sudiksha interacted with the new acquaintances, but the evening ended without incidents, and the girls returned to their hotel. On March 12, the group met Joshua Riibe and his friends again on the beach. They spent time together, talked, and participated in water activities. According to Sudiksha's friends, she seemed pleased with the new acquaintance and willingly communicated with Riibe. In the evening, the company dined together at one of the beach restaurants. Later that same evening, a strange event occurred. Sudiksha made two payments through the Venmo payment system, one for $175 and another for $55. The recipient of both payments was Joshua Riibe. The purpose of these transfers remains unclear and constitutes one of the mysteries in the case. According to one version, it could have been payment for narcotic substances, according to another, a contribution for shared entertainment. Also, on the evening of March 12, Sudiksha called her parents and informed them that everything was fine, she was enjoying her vacation and planned to go on an excursion the next day. This was the girl's last conversation with her family. In her last message to a friend, she wrote that she was going to bed early since she planned an early morning departure for an excursion the next day. March 13, 2025, became the fateful day in this story. According to information from Sudiksha's friends, they woke up around 8 a.m. and found Sudiksha's bed empty. At first, they didn't give it much thought, assuming the girl might have gone for a morning run or breakfast. However, when she didn't return by noon and wasn't responding to calls and messages, her friends began to worry. That same morning, around 7:30 a.m., hotel surveillance cameras recorded Sudiksha leaving the hotel grounds in a swimsuit with a light dress over it. She was heading towards the beach. Interestingly, in the video, she was walking alone, without any accompaniment, and appeared calm. Later, around 8:15 a.m., another surveillance camera from a neighboring hotel captured Sudiksha walking on the beach in the company of a man who was later identified as Joshua Riibe. In the video, they looked relaxed and showed no signs of conflict or tension. This is the last known visual evidence that Sudiksha was alive and well. From this moment began the most controversial part of the story. According to Joshua Riibe, he and Sudiksha were swimming in the ocean when suddenly a large wave covered them. He claims that he helped the girl get to shore, after which she went in the direction of the hotels, and he remained on the beach. However, no witnesses were found to confirm this version. When Sudiksha's friends realized she was missing, they informed the hotel staff and local police. By the end of the day, a search operation was launched, covering beaches and surrounding areas. Divers, drones, and search dogs were deployed. However, no trace of the girl was found. That same evening, Sudiksha Konanki's parents were informed about their daughter's disappearance. Shocked by the terrible news, they immediately flew to the Dominican Republic to personally participate in the search. From this moment began the family's long and difficult struggle to find the truth about their daughter's fate. Joshua Riibe, a 25-year-old resident of Iowa, became a central figure in the investigation of Sudiksha Konanki's disappearance. According to him, He came to Punta Cana on vacation with a group of friends and met Sudiksha and her friends at the Coco Bongo nightclub on March 11. Riibe worked in the insurance industry in Iowa and, according to his friends, was sociable and friendly. The version of events that Riibe initially told investigators was as follows: on the morning of March 13, he accidentally met Sudiksha on the beach. They decided to swim in the ocean when they were unexpectedly covered by a large wave. According to him, he helped the girl get to shore, after which she seemed to be okay and walked in the direction of the hotel. He claimed that this was the last time he saw Sudiksha. However, significant discrepancies later emerged in his testimony. In an interview with NBC News, Riibe stated that he and Sudiksha had been consuming alcoholic beverages that morning, particularly tequila, which contradicted his previous statements about an accidental morning encounter. Additionally, he told journalists that Sudiksha drowned, and he pulled her out of the water, which sounded more dramatic than his initial version for the police. Another suspicious detail: the payments that Sudiksha made to Riibe through Venmo the day before her disappearance. The sum of $230 seemed strange for a casual acquaintance, and Riibe could not convincingly explain the purpose of this money. Initially, he claimed it was payment for a joint trip to a restaurant, then changed his version, saying it was money for help in purchasing souvenirs. On March 14, Riibe unexpectedly flew to the United States, which raised additional suspicions among investigators. According to CNN, he left the Dominican Republic earlier than planned, without informing the authorities and without providing full testimony to the Dominican police. The Dominican authorities recognized Riibe as a person of interest in the investigation and turned to American colleagues for help in interrogating him. The Dominican National Police launched a large-scale search operation immediately after being notified of the girl's disappearance. Divers were deployed to examine coastal waters, drones were used for aerial reconnaissance, and search teams combed the beaches and surrounding areas. The American FBI joined the investigation at the request of the Konanki family and because of Sudiksha's status as a U.S. citizen. FBI agents arrived in the Dominican Republic on March 15 to coordinate efforts with local police and conduct their own investigation. The FBI actively participated in the investigation, creating a special team to analyze digital evidence, including surveillance camera footage and data from Sudiksha's phone. FBI agents also interviewed Sudiksha's friends and acquaintances in the United States, trying to find any clues that might explain her disappearance. The University of Pittsburgh also actively joined the search for their student. The university administration issued an official statement expressing deep concern about the situation and assuring their full support for the Konanki family. The university created a special support group for Sudiksha's friends and classmates, and also organized fundraising to help with the search efforts. The Indian consulate in the U.S. and the embassy in the Dominican Republic also intervened in the case, considering the Indian origin of the Konanki family. Diplomats worked to ensure proper investigation and support for the family. During the investigation, dozens of witnesses were questioned, including hotel staff, tourists who were vacationing nearby, and Sudiksha's friends. Special attention was paid to the group of tourists from Iowa with whom Sudiksha had contact in the last days. Surveillance camera footage, phone calls, and bank transactions were analyzed. One of the key pieces of evidence in the case was surveillance camera footage showing Sudiksha in the last hours before her disappearance. Particularly important is the recording that captured her around 8:15 a.m. on March 13, when she was walking on the beach with Joshua Riibe. The video shows that she was wearing a swimsuit and a light dress, looked calm, and showed no signs of stress. Another important piece of evidence was the payments made by Sudiksha through the Venmo system to Joshua Riibe on the eve of her disappearance. The purpose of these payments remains unclear, but their existence indicates some financial relationship between Sudiksha and Riibe. Sudiksha's phone also became an important source of information. Analysis of geolocation data showed that on the morning of March 13, the device moved from the hotel toward the beach, confirming the version of her leaving the hotel on her own. However, the phone signal was interrupted around 8:30 a.m., which may indicate the time when the device was damaged by water or turned off. Interestingly, during the investigation, a witness emerged who claimed to have seen Sudiksha getting into a taxi near one of the hotels at approximately 9 a.m. on March 13. However, checking surveillance camera footage in this area did not confirm this information, and investigators consider this testimony unreliable. An important element of the investigation was also Joshua Riibe's contradictory testimony. According to Fox News, he repeatedly changed details of his account about the morning of March 13. Initially, he claimed that he accidentally met Sudiksha on the beach, then said they had arranged to meet the day before. He also described the girl's condition after the wave incident differently, from completely normal to slightly disoriented. The absence of Sudiksha's body, despite intensive searches, remains one of the main mysteries of the case. This has given rise to various theories, from an accident in the water with the body being carried away by the current to versions about kidnapping or voluntary disappearance. The family of Sudiksha Konanki demonstrated extraordinary resilience and determination in the search for their missing daughter. The girl's parents, Prabhakar and Geeta Konanki, arrived in Punta Cana on March 14, the day after her disappearance. They immediately joined the search efforts and began their own investigation, not relying solely on official authorities. In their first public statement made on March 15, 2025, Sudiksha's parents expressed deep concern about the situation and asked anyone with any information about their daughter to immediately contact the police. "Our daughter is a bright, intelligent girl with a great future. We just want to know what happened to her and bring her home," said Prabhakar Konanki during a press conference. The Konanki family hired private detectives to conduct a parallel investigation. According to People magazine, they also offered a reward of $50,000 for information that would help find Sudiksha. The girl's parents gave dozens of interviews to local and international media, trying to bring maximum attention to the case. Prabhakar Konanki was particularly critical of the initial efforts of the Dominican police. In an interview with the Washington Post, he stated that he felt the search was not initially taken seriously enough and precious time was lost. "The first 48 hours are critically important in disappearance cases, and we felt that these hours were wasted on bureaucratic procedures," he said. The Konanki family was especially adamant after the emergence of Joshua Riibe's contradictory testimony. "We are confident that this man knows more than he is telling. His story keeps changing, and we demand that he tell the truth about what happened to our daughter," Geeta Konanki said in an interview with ABC News. The Indian community in the United States actively joined in supporting the Konanki family. Several charity events were organized to raise funds for the search, as well as prayer gatherings in various states. The Indian Embassy in the Dominican Republic and the Consulate in the United States also provided support to the family and facilitated coordination with local authorities. The University of Pittsburgh community also did not remain indifferent. Students organized several events in support of the search for Sudiksha and created an online petition demanding a more thorough investigation, which gathered over 200,000 signatures. The University of Pittsburgh established a special scholarship in the name of Sudiksha Konanki for students studying neuroscience. The case of Sudiksha Konanki received wide media coverage, which helped to draw public attention. The hashtag #FindSudiksha went viral on social media, and the story of the girl's disappearance was broadcast by leading TV channels in the United States, India, and the Dominican Republic. As of March 15, 2025, 2 days after Sudiksha Konanki's disappearance, the investigation continues with increased intensity. Despite extensive searches, which include the use of drones, divers, and search dogs, no direct traces of the girl have been found. The main efforts of investigators are focused on interrogating Joshua Riibe, who remains the main person of interest in the case. According to the New York Post, on March 15, Riibe was detained by American police in Iowa for questioning. The Konanki family stated that the detention occurred under unusual circumstances, and that investigators intensified the interrogations. Discrepancies in Riibe's testimony remain a key aspect of the investigation. According to CBS News, investigators found at least 5 different versions of events on the morning of March 13 in his accounts. Particular attention is drawn to the fact that he left the Dominican Republic earlier than planned and did not provide comprehensive explanations regarding the payments received from Sudiksha. Dominican authorities have expanded the search area, including territories outside the beach zone. According to CNN, additional resources have been involved in the search, including specialized search teams from the United States. Police are also considering the possibility of kidnapping, although there is no concrete evidence of this so far. The Indian Embassy in the Dominican Republic issued an official statement expressing deep concern about the situation and assuring that it is making every possible effort to assist in the search for the citizen of Indian origin. Diplomats are working to ensure proper coordination between American and Dominican law enforcement agencies. According to recent data from NBC News, investigators have paid special attention to the mysterious Venmo payments that Sudiksha made to Riibe. Information has emerged that such payments could be related to the purchase of narcotic substances, although this version is not officially confirmed. The case of Sudiksha Konanki has sparked a broader discussion about the safety of American students during spring break abroad. Several U.S. universities have already announced increased security measures and additional briefings for students planning to travel. Following the disappearance of Sudiksha Konanki, the investigation gained a significant connection to another high-profile missing person case when Beth Holloway, mother of Natalie Holloway who vanished in Aruba in 2005, became involved. Beth Holloway reached out to the Konanki family to offer her support and expertise, having navigated a similar tragedy nearly 2 decades earlier. In media interviews, Beth identified a key difference between the cases. While Sudiksha's last moments were captured on surveillance footage with Joshua Riibe, her daughter Natalie's final hours with Joran van der Sloot were not documented on camera. Beth emphasized the importance of this visual evidence in the Konanki investigation, noting that having that footage is crucial, as it provides investigators with critical information that was missing in her daughter's case. The Konanki family also reportedly enlisted the help of T.J. Ward, the private investigator who worked on the Natalie Holloway case for years. Ward's involvement brought additional expertise and resources to the search efforts, applying lessons learned from the Holloway investigation to Sudiksha's case. This connection between the two cases highlighted the unfortunate similarities in tragedies involving young women traveling abroad. You can also watch the Natalie Holloway case on our YouTube channel. Just wait until the end of this video and you will be offered to view that case. Despite the lack of concrete search results, the Konanki family has not lost hope of finding Sudiksha alive. "We will continue to search for our daughter, no matter how long it takes. We will not rest until we know the truth," Prabhakar Konanki said in a recent interview with CNN. The case of Sudiksha Konanki remains open, with many unresolved questions and mysteries. The investigation continues, and each new detail could be crucial in revealing the truth about what happened to the young student on the beaches of Punta Cana on that fateful morning of March 13, 2025. As of March 19, 2025, the parents of Sudiksha Konanki have made a heartbreaking statement accepting that their daughter most likely drowned during her spring break trip to Punta Cana. After extensive investigation and searching efforts, Prabhakar and Geeta Konanki released a statement saying, "With deep sadness and a heavy heart, we have come to accept that our beloved daughter Sudiksha has tragically drowned while on her spring break vacation." This represents a significant shift from their earlier position, as they had previously expressed skepticism about the drowning theory and pushed for a more thorough investigation. In a related development, Joshua Riibe, the last person believed to have seen Sudiksha alive, appeared before a judge in the Dominican Republic on March 19. According to reports, the judge has authorized his release and return to the United States today. Dominican authorities have not charged Riibe with any crime related to Konanki's disappearance, though he remains a person of interest in the ongoing investigation. The judge's decision came after reviewing all available evidence, including surveillance footage and witness testimonies that corroborated parts of Riibe's account about the incident involving a large wave. Despite extensive search operations involving both Dominican and American authorities, Sudiksha's body has not been recovered. Oceanographers consulted by the investigation team have suggested that strong currents in the area could have carried her remains far from the shore, making recovery extremely difficult. The search operation continues, though at a reduced scale, as authorities now focus on coastal areas where bodies are typically recovered following drowning incidents in this region. More than 2,000 American citizens disappear during foreign travel each year. The story of Sudiksha Konanki emphasizes the importance of caution and care while vacationing in other countries. It reminds us of the need to be vigilant even in popular tourist locations, especially when it comes to communicating with unfamiliar people. For parents and families of students studying abroad or traveling, the case of Sudiksha Konanki has become a painful reminder of the importance of maintaining regular communication with their children and having information about their whereabouts and plans. Many parents have begun to encourage their children to use location tracking apps and regularly stay in touch during trips. For law enforcement agencies and the tourism industry, this case has signaled the need to strengthen security measures and develop more effective protocols for responding to cases of missing foreign citizens. Several tourism companies have already announced the implementation of additional security measures for tourists, especially for young women traveling independently or in small groups. The case of Sudiksha Konanki remains open, and the search for truth continues. Perhaps in the future, new evidence or testimony will emerge that will help solve the mystery of her disappearance. But already, this story is forever inscribed in the chronicle of mysterious cases that have captured the world's attention and changed our understanding of safety and responsibility while traveling. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think about this case. If you enjoy deep dives into true crime, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, friends.